Do you think workplaces are prepared for the influx of employees that are caregiving, that are taking on this burden, that now are living these two lives?
Funny you should say that. I wrote a blog that probably 2 or 3 weeks ago on this topic, and I've also have presentations that I put together on this topic. And the short answer to your question is no, they are not prepared. And a lot of folks think it's the HR person's role to figure that out or to know that. It is, but we don't even always hear about it. And so the line manager, a person's manager, has to be willing to have a conversation when things start looking as though they're changing. I'll give you an example of that. So, the employee who starts to use all their PTO to deal with a family issue, right? They are taking off early or coming in late because they have to take someone to the doctor, or they look like they are exhausted and they're dealing with something, to not assume that it's always job related. It could be very much related to their family or situations, not only dementia, Alzheimer's, it could be special needs, it could be dealing with a parent with cancer or a partner or whatever. And being willing to sit down with somebody and say, "Hey, what's going on with you? It appears as though, you know, you're not yourself. Is there anything that I can do for you? Is there anything that you can tell me?" And I think organizations, the more they do leadership training, the more they coach their managers on how to have tough conversations and be aware and be observant, will highlight for them things that are going on that they can then deal with. I have a client that I spoke with a couple of weeks ago, and just imagine, they had a 20-something-year-old manager who had both parents dealing with dementia, 20. And this person said, "I need to leave and go back to California for a period of time." And this person, very valuable employee. And I said to the head of operations, "What did you do?" And they said, "We told her to take her time. We said, if you're out for a long period of time and you want to come back, we'll bridge your service. We'll find a role. We'll pay you what you were making before." Because he said, "We didn't want to lose her and we knew what she was going through was her priority." That's the right way to deal with it. I also said to him, "What is it that you wish you would have done differently?" And he said, "The lag time between the manager finding out about it and being willing to be vulnerable to tell me was a couple of weeks, and I wish it wouldn't have been that." So, finding how do you have the systems in place and the interactions in place so there's a listening and an opportunity to work with people to have them deal with real life, because they will. And rather than having them quit or leave or, you know, do the things that you hope that they don't have to do, is all about how the company is prepared and willing to deal with those situations. So, to answer your questions, I don't think we're prepared. And I think that HR people bear a lot of that burden, and they need to teach in the company and train people how to start having listening for caregiving, whatever type it is.
No matter where you're watching the Dementia Collective from, if you get anything from this at all, anything, please like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, head to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave us a 5-star review.